Hello and welcome back to Toy Thursday with Johnny Tiger on February 9, 2023. Aha! There's almost no mystery here. You look at this action figure in front of the camera right now, you know we are looking at a rabbit, by the way. Um, yeah, that's kind of a mean looking rabbit. We are going to be talking about the year of the rabbit because, as usual, every year, in the first few episodes, I like to devote a bit of time showing action figures that correlate with the Chinese zodiac sign of the year. And this year, we are in the year of the rabbit, year of the water element, water rabbit. Just a little bit of trivia. In Vietnam, they call this the ear of the cat rather than ear of the rabbit. So technically, I could have just shown you an action figure of Catwoman and get away with it. But no, we're not going to go cheap. We're going to actually show you a rabbit. And this may be one of the last times that you will see this particular action figure. Why? Because as one of my New Year's plan, I won't call it resolution, but one of the New Year plan this year was that I'm going to try to sell off my Star Wars collection. Yeah, I know it's kind of sad, and I I waited for a long time. As I was growing up, I wished for years and years and years to get 6-inch action figures of the Star Wars character. But then I started getting them, they started coming out, and I find that I'm not very interested in the design of Star Wars characters. Lightsabers really seem kind of boring to me from a tactile standpoint, and most of the characters feel like they're wearing the same kind of clothes as most people who wear space suits, space armor is going to feel more or less the same, and there's not a lot of different design being done. Like most of the uh, action figures lines is focusing on the main characters, the side characters, the human-like characters. We are not getting like spaceships. We're not getting like the interesting-looking monsters and creatures and stuff like that. So I guess my enthusiasm for the Star Wars line just fading away. But that is not even the biggest issue. The biggest issue for me really is space. My action figure collection is growing pretty big, and I feel that it is time when I try to cinch this in and really focus on the stuff that I really like rather than just getting whatever that seems pretty cool at the time. And beyond that, there's also a very important reason that I need to think about paying for Tiger's medication. Uh, Tiger's medical bill is about $150, $200 every few months, which means, in a whole year, we are looking at nearly $1,000. So I figure if I sell off my Star Wars guy, then that should cover his medical costs for this year. Anyway, that's a bit of sob story there. So if you see this episode and if you think you might be interested in buying my Star Wars collection off of my hand, if you think that you're in the market to buy a collection of Star Wars figures, that there's about 40 of these guys in very, very, very good condition because I don't play with them. I just use them for display. So if you are interested, let me know in the comment section, and maybe we can arrange for me to send you a catalog of what's there, and we can go from there. Okay, that's my little advertisement for this. But that's my very long-winded way of saying that you know, uh, Star Wars figures may be very rare in future episodes. So you guys should treasure this view of this Star Wars space rabbit. This green-furred, red-eyed rabbit. Technically, he's not a rabbit because in the Star Wars universe, he is not a rabbit. He's from the race of people called Leapy. Yeah, totally not a rabbit. His name is Jackson Tamperaki. That's really a mouthful, Tamperaki. I'm just going to call him Jackson from here on. And yeah, that's not spelled like Michael Jackson. That's spelled like Jaxxon. Jackson. Okay, so who is Jackson? Who is this space rabbit? Most of you who just watch Star Wars movies, you wouldn't have known this guy. This guy was actually created when Star Wars was drawn by Marvel Comic. The first few episodes of Marvel Comic focused stay true to the regular original Star Wars plot, but by issue 7, they started to branch out to extended universe, things that weren't covered in the movie. And at the time, because the editor didn't want them to focus too heavily on Luke and Leia Organa, so the comic artist started focusing on the adventure of Han Solo and Chewbacca. And the first adventure they were on was like this space western story where a bunch of misfits, including Han and Chewbacca, have to band together to defend a small frontier town from a bunch of outer space thugs. In that group of misfits, there were a lot of joke characters, like a Jedi Knight by the name of something Ari Donwan, Master of Jedi, or something like that. But the most prominent of them was this 6 foot tall, green furred space rabbit guy uh, by the name of Jackson. So, long story so short, Jackson after growing up on the planet Kocho with his Lipi clan, which consisted of hundreds of uncles and aunties and 300 or 400 cousins and nieces and nephews, yeah, they do breed like rabbits. Um, Jackson decided that he didn't have a future on his own planet with so many others uh, to compete with. So he got himself a spaceship and he left and became a smuggler, calling himself the best smuggler pilot in the universe. He traveled around the universe in his broken down spaceship called the Rabbit's Foot and his android companion and takes on odd jobs for good guys, bad guys, anyone that can pay him and go on a lot of shady, seedy adventures. So yeah, it's an interesting kind of character. It's not really essential to the main storyline, but he is tied in with Han Solo and Chewbacca and a lot of the other smuggler type characters and bounty hunters in the story. Just the kind of fringe character that is kind of interesting. The fact that he is also a 6 foot tall rabbit in a spacesuit. When he's in combat, Jackson is very famous for using both of his pistols at the same time. And in close quarter combat, he's also known for his very powerful kick. He would deliver this kick to his opponent's chest to knock them back so he had time to draw his pistol and go to work like a Western gunfighter. Which is kind of lucky that this action figure actually has really good range of movement, really good articulation, relatively good balance, that he can actually pull off his famous kick to the chest move. Ooh, let me readjust the camera here. Give me 1 second. My camera is uh, actually not available. So, so here we have a space. rabbit, a smuggler, a two guns wielding rabbit who got some cool kung fu move. And some people may say, so okay, I thought you said that Star Wars character design is boring and all the same. Well, see, here's the thing. Uh, I did not really get Jackson because he's a cool design. I mean, he's okay, but he's basically the same human Star Wars spacesuit body with a rabbit head on it. And there's really not that much that is interesting about him beyond his really good storyline and he's a rabbit. I actually got him in preparation for this episode. When I saw that there's going to be a Star Wars space rabbit, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to need a rabbit for the year of the rabbit, so let's get him. That really is the only reason I got Jackson. I have no personal connection to this character or uh, any kind of really intriguing part about the design, as far as I'm concerned.